ਤੇ ਵੱਡਾ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਨਾਨਕ, ਜਿਨ ਕਲ ਰਾਖੀ ਮੇਰੀ, ਗਿਆਨ ਧਿਆਨ ਕਿਛ ਕਰਮ ਨ ਜਾਣ, ਸਾਰ ਨ ਜਾਣਾ ਤੇਰੀ, ਸਭ ਤੇ ਵੱਡਾ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਨਾਨਕ, ਜਿਨ ਕਲ ਰਾਖੀ ਮੇਰੀ। ਗੁਰੂ ਪਿਆਰੀ, ਗੁਰੂ ਸੋਈ ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ, today is a very blessed day once again, in which Dhan Shri Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj has allowed for this youth samagam to take place in the darbar. And Sangat Ji, before the Aranta of this Katha, let us all place our Hazri in this darbar. Sarbat Sangat, please join me in the blessed Fateh of Dhan Shri Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj. Akho Ji, Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Sadh Sangat Ji, the Panth in the upcoming day will remember a great Gurmukh of our history. Sadh Sangat Ji, such Gurmukhs, when we do vichar of their jivani, when we look at what they have done, Sadh Sangat Ji, it helps us to look within ourselves to see if we have lived up to such a standard. Sadh Sangat Ji, tomorrow is the Shaheedi Divs of a Bhai Singh Ji. Now Sadh Sangat Ji, during this time, it was once again a time where there was conflict with the corrupt government's rulers and between the house of the Guru. The corrupt rulers, oppressors, had conflict with Dhan Shri Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj. And Sadh Sangat Ji, this is not something new we see. In fact, we see this throughout the jivani of all of our Gurus, starting from Shri Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj. When a heightened being who have reached the supreme state, and they begin to preach, they begin to change the mind of many people, Sadh Sangat Ji. Those who wish to oppress, those who are ignorant to the amazing work being done, Sadh Sangat Ji, they begin to plan to eliminate such beings. These emperors, these rulers, Sadh Sangat Ji, where they themselves see themselves as humans who have reached such a high post, a king, but then they will see a spiritual being whom which other people is calling the King of Kings, Sache Padshah. And when the rulers of the time hear such things, Sadh Sangat Ji, they begin to get jealous. So Sangat Ji, coming back to the jivani of Bhai Mani Singh Ji, we see this principle once again. Bhai Mani Singh Ji, at the time, Sadh Sangat Ji was responsible for the work that was to be done at Shri Harmandir Sahib and Akal Takht Sahib. And what they wanted to do, Sadh Sangat Ji, is they wanted to gather a lot of Sikh Sangat from very far away and call them all together in remembrance of the Guru. Just like how me and you are sitting down here, getting together for a samagam, or we may come to the Gurdwara when it's the New Year, or if it's a Purab, so on and so forth, Sangat Ji. Bhai Mani Singh Ji was trying to gather Sikh Sangat. Now the government of the time was very strict, and they put a tax on such things. And so Bhai Mani Singh made a deal with Zakariya Khan. And they said, allow us to have this Sangat come together, and we will give you whatever tax you wish to receive. And so Sad Sangat Ji, Zakariya Khan, he agreed, but within him there was a malicious intent. He thought to himself, I'll take the tax that these Sikhs are offering, for they would use the opportunity of a lot of gathered Sangat to launch an attack. And so Sangat Ji, on that day, when Bhai Mani Singh Ji had spread word far and wide to the Sangat, to the Sikhs to come together to be in remembrance of the Guru, they all came to Harmandir Sahib. And Bhai Mani Singh Ji found out that Zakariya Khan was planning to kill all of the Sangat. So they tried to send letters back, tried to tell the Sangat not to come, but it was too late. Sadhu Sangat Ji, a mass majority of the Sangat had already reached Harmandir Sahib at that time. And the Sangat Ji, even in that time, they launched an attack, killing thousands of Gurmukhs at Harmandir Sahib. Sad Sangat Ji, Bhai Mani Singh Ji was then captured. And they were given a choice. Zakariya Khan, he told Bhai Mani Singh Ji, he said, you won't get this body again. He said, accept Islam and I'll let you free. Your life will be saved, just accept Islam. This is what Bhai Mani Singh Ji was told. Now Sangat Ji, if we look at this for a moment, even nowadays, we see this saying, this statement. People say, you only live once. And when they say you only live once, they usually associate it with someone who's trying to go around and experience all the pleasures, all the beauties, all the happiness that this world has to offer. And they'll say, experience everything because you only live once. But Sangat Ji, in Gurmat, in the Guru's house, this statement is far from the truth. The Guru does not tell us you only live once. Sad Sangat Ji, the Guru says, Eh jiyo bate janam pramya ta Satgur Shabad Sunaya. The Guru said, in fact, you have suffered many lifetimes. Sad Sangat Ji, we look around the world, this human body is not the only form of life. There are plants, trees, animals. Sad Sangat Ji, all of these are different life forms that are going through their own cycle. And Sangat Ji, in simpler terms, we can call this reincarnation. Moving from one life form to the next. And out of all the life forms that one can obtain as Sadhu Sangat Ji, this human life is said to be the most supreme, the most highest life form one can achieve. And there is a reason for this. But Sangat Ji, before we go further and talk about why this is super supreme, a doubt may come into our minds. We might think, how is that possible? How do we know that we actually pass and then come back again? Who knows if reincarnation is true? And Sangat Ji, the reason this doubt is coming into our minds is because this question has not been satisfied by those whom we look up to for the truth. And in this modern day, who do we look up to for the truth? Where do we want to get our answers? The media, scientists, researchers. It is the articles, the research they have done that we accept to be true. But Sangat Ji, think about this for a moment. Imagine there was a grade 4th student who's learning mathematics. And then we have a university professor who's teaching calculus mathematics. Now, if I were to ask you if you needed math help, who would you go to? Most of you, I believe, would say you would obviously go to the more qualified, the more learned university professor. You may get something from that 4th grader, but the answers you'll get from the university professor will be way more in depth, way more closer to the truth. And in the same way, Sangat Ji, when it comes to Gurbani, when it comes to the house of the Guru, why are we trying to justify the work of a university professor with the work of a 4th grader? Meaning, Sadhu Sangat Ji, when there is something written in Gurbani that brings doubt to us, we try to seek the answers from science. But how foolish is this, Sadhu Sangat Ji? Because the very things that science is trying to understand, they've only begun to understand. The theories they're coming out with today, Sangat Ji, the Guru, has written hundreds of years ago in complete accuracy and detail. And yet, Sadhu Sangat Ji, we seek answers elsewhere. And so Sangat Ji, coming back now to how this body is the highest life form. Imagine a dog, a fish, a bear. Sadhu Sangat Ji, to put it in a simple way, can a dog read Gurbani? Can a fish sing the Kirtan? Can a bear do Simran? The answer is no, Sadhu Sangat Ji. There's not enough Gyan, awareness in these life forms to do such things. It is only in this human life that we have the ability to connect to divine truth. Sadhu Sangat Ji. This is what makes this life form like a jewel. And so Sangat Ji now, by Mani Singh Ji, when they were told by Zakariya Khan, they said, you won't get this body again. By Mani Singh Ji, being a Sikh of the Guru, they said, no. This body comes, this body goes. I may get this body again, but I may not get Sikhi in another life form. I may not be a student of such a supreme Guru in another life form, so I will not accept Islam. Sangat Ji, Bhai Mani Singh Ji, they are sitting there, and Zakariya Khan, he asked a Qazi about what punishment should we give Bhai Mani Singh Ji. And it was decided that Bhai Mani Singh Ji would be cut joint by joint. Sangat Ji, they wanted to give such a horrible execution that all the other Sikhs that were there at that time, they would get afraid and accept Islam. Sat Sangat Ji, the executioner, he felt compassion in his heart. He saw Bhai Mani Singh Ji sitting there. He thought, well, I don't need to cut joint by joint, even though this was the order. He said, I'll just cut off the arms, cut off the legs, cut off the head, and get it over with. He wanted to make it an easier death for Bhai Mani Singh Ji. When the executioner began, Sangat Ji, this is something really to contemplate on. When he was about to begin to execute Bhai Mani Singh Ji, starting from the arm, Bhai Mani Singh Ji stopped him. He said, don't you know what joint by joint means? He said, do you not know what this means? He said, start from here, my joints start from my hand. Sat Sangat Ji, the executioner, was shook. He thought, I'm trying to give this being an easier death, but he's telling me to give me an even harder death. What kind of being is this? The executioner thought. So Sangat Ji, upon those orders, the executioner began, and Bhai Mani Singh Ji's hand was placed out. And he came down, chopping off the front joints of the fingers. And then the next, and then the next. And then a complete arm was cut off. There is blood going. And they look over at the face of Bhai Mani Singh Ji and Sat Sangat Ji. Sometimes when we stub our toe, or our skin gets pinched, we might let out a little cry, whine a little bit. But they look at the face of Bhai Mani Singh Ji. He seemed to be in such stillness, completely unwavered with what was happening to his body. Sangat Ji, the executioner, continues to cut Bhai Mani Singh Ji limb by limb, one arm, then the next, then both legs, and they look at Bhai Mani Singh Ji still, sitting in absolute stillness, and from their mouth they are reciting Sukhmani Sahib. They read Gurbani from their lips and sit completely unwavered by what was happening. Eventually, Sangat Ji, the executioner, gives a final blow, causing the body to fall. And Bhai Mani Singh Ji attains his Shaheedi. Sangat Ji, the character, the state that these Gurmukhs have obtained cannot even be described. Some of us today, Sangat Ji, we please society. We change ourselves in a way so we can live up to the standards of society. Sat Sangat Ji, these are not just things I've heard, I've seen with my own eyes. I'll see young boys, they cut their hair, and when you ask them what the reason was, they said, because we won't get a girlfriend. I'll see women spending so much time worrying about how their hair will look, how their nails will look, because they want to appear a certain way to other people. And Sangat Ji, while doing this, we do not realize how much suffering we are causing ourselves. More importantly, Sangat Ji, we do not realize the betrayal we are doing to our Guru. If you look at this Gurmukh's life, Sat Sangat Ji, we have talked about one Gurmukh, Bhai Mani Singh. There were thousands of Shaheed just like them. They were given a choice to convert. He knew he was going to be cut piece by piece, but even in such times, they remained steadfast and loyal to the Guru. And even after immense suffering may have been happening to the body, Bhai Mani Singh Ji abides in peace, abides in bliss, Sadhu Sangat Ji. Such was the character of these Gurmukhs. And we really got to look at ourselves today, that we cut our hair, we go out and drink, we do things to please other people. Is our situation anything close to what those Gurmukhs were experiencing? Are we living up to the standards that those Gurmukhs had set for us? We won't. Sadhu Sangat Ji, we're sitting here today because of their sacrifices. If Guru Gobind Singh Ji did not fight these oppressors, there would be no Sikhs, there would be no Hindus. In fact, there would only be Muslims wandering around on the Dharti of Bharat. We are here today because of the battles that Guru Gobind Singh Ji, the Gurmukhs fought, the Shidriyan that our previous Gurus and Guru Sikhs had given. And Sangat Ji, we have to realize how blessed we are to be sitting in the house of such a Guru at this moment. You are absolutely blessed, Sadhu Sangat Ji. You are sitting in the sanctuary of the Guru who has given you everything. But Sadhu Sangat Ji, there is a line in Gurbani. They say, Sacha Sadgur kya kare jo sikham hai chook. They say the Guru is supreme, the Guru is the king of kings. But Sadhu Sangat Ji, what can the Guru do when the fault is in the Sikhs? It is the Sikhs who are ignorant and they do not realize whose presence we are in. So Sangat Ji, when we remember these Gurmukhs, let us realize what we are truly here to do. Let us not let the sacrifices go to waste. In our life, let us spend time, Sangat Ji, to actually be Guru Sikhs. Nowadays we think if we come to the Gurdwara every Sunday, that makes you a Sikh. Or if you were born in the house of people who follow Sikhi, that makes you a Sikh. No, Sadhu Sangat Ji. There is no one saying that. Where did these ideas come from? This is a Christian concept, going to church every Sunday. We have done the same thing in our Gurdwara. We think coming on Sunday makes us a Sikh. Putting on a kada makes us a Sikh. But no, Sadhu Sangat Ji, the real Sikhs were those like Bhai Mani Singh Ji, whom we just talked about. So Sangat Ji, Sikhi does not come from without. It is very easy for someone like me to put on this very nice bana, have a kirpan, but am I truly attuned within myself? When we spend time to read Gurbani, Sadhu Sangat Ji, we have been bowing down our entire life. We have to realize there is something that this scripture is telling us. We weren't just supposed to bow down. Satgur no sabko vekhta, jeta jagat sansar, ditha muktana hovoi, jitar shabda kare vichar. Gurbani says that there are many people that come and bow down to the Guru. There have been prime ministers that have come and bowed down to the Guru, but that does not mean they will obtain liberation. We have to contemplate what the Guru is telling us and change our lives accordingly, Sadhu Sangat Ji. Live in the lifestyle that a Guru has outlined for us. So Sangat Ji, you have all listened with much love and much patience. ਸਰਬੱਤ ਸੰਗਤ ਨੇ ਬੜੀ ਹੀ ਇਕਾਗਰਤਾ ਤੇ ਪ੍ਰੇਮ ਨਾਲ ਸ਼ਰਵਣ ਕੀਤਾ। ਹੋਈਆਂ ਅਗਿਣਤੀ ਪ੍ਰਕਾਰ ਦੀਆਂ ਭੁੱਲਾਂ ਮਾਫ ਕਰਨਾ ਜੀ। Please forgive all mistakes. Thank you to all my brothers and sisters who have took their time to come to this Samagam today. And let us try in our life to connect to Naam Simran, to connect to Gurbani, to Seva. Let us normalize these things in our lives. So Sadh Sangat ji, please join me in the blessed Fateh of Tan Tan Shri Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj. आखो जी वाहेगुरु जी का खालसा, वाहेगुरु जी की फतेह।